Hello, I'm Renata, and I am the plant care specialist at Just Add Ice, here to share some plant care tips with customers like you. We've all done it before. We've dropped an orchid, or we forgot to water our anthurium to the point where leaves start to crisp up. Today we're going to talk about how to trim the damaged parts off of the leaves without removing entire leaves and making sure that we don't cause bigger problems like disease or pests. First, you want to make sure that you have a sterilized cutting tool. I like to use rubbing alcohol in a jar so that your scissors or cutting tool of choice gets a good soak and it prevents any plant diseases from being on the blade when you make a cut. Just think, whenever you make a cut, you're opening an area on the plant where disease can enter. So we want to do everything we can to prevent that from happening. That starts with sterilized cutting tools. Also, you may have heard of cinnamon as a natural remedy for fungal issues or bacteria issues. Actually, the way cinnamon works is to dehydrate plant tissue where you make a cut or an open wound, and that kind of scabs over the plant area and prevents any diseases from entering in that part. Be careful, you should never use cinnamon to treat roots. Because cinnamon acts to dehydrate plant tissue, it can cause dehydrated roots, which is never a good situation. Let's take a moment to analyze the damaged parts of these plants. As you can see, the anthurium here has burnt leaf tips. It's pretty thorough throughout the plant. I can only see about 3 leaves with it, but it's to the point where I wouldn't want to remove all of those leaves just because they're damaged in one part. This orchid here unfortunately got dropped earlier today, and you can see that the leaves are hanging here, they've been broken here, and there's even a leaf split on this top leaf. Now, the leaf split is something that we don't want to remove the whole leaf because this leaf can still function. But these parts, because they're cut off from the rest of the plant, they will turn yellow and brown and die. So we'll want to remove those. So we're going to perform surgery on these plants. So first you're going to remove your tool from the rubbing alcohol. And then you're going to look at the leaf and you're going to cut just on the inside of the yellow area to remove that ugly part. And then everybody has ground cinnamon in their cabinet, so you're just gonna take that out. And you're gonna take a cotton swab and you're just gonna barely dip it in the cinnamon. It should stay on there pretty well. And you're just gonna put a light layer along that open cut. And it does not take much, like you probably won't even be able to see what you're applying. But just enough will dry that tissue out and prevent disease from entering. So you're gonna do that with each of the damaged leaves that you don't wanna remove the whole leaf. The rule of thumb is to remove the whole leaf if the damage is greater than 50% of the leaf. So there's still some area for photosynthesis to occur on this leaf, so you want to leave that there. Treat it with the cinnamon. And keep going. Keep going until all the areas are removed that are damaged. And then monitor that in the coming weeks to make sure that your cinnamon did the trick and there's no discoloration forming on those leaves. All right, let's take a look at the orchid now. So as mentioned before, we've got these 2 areas that are going to need removal. The split leaf, if you're really concerned about disease, you can go ahead and just treat that with cinnamon. Again, be careful that you don't get too much cinnamon on the roots because you don't want those to dehydrate. All right, next, we're gonna take these damaged areas off. Take your sterilized cutting tool and just cut right along the split. Just like so. Go ahead and do the other leaf. Then take your cinnamon. After you've applied cinnamon to all of the open cuts, you'll want to monitor the plants in the next couple of weeks for any kind of discoloration. If you notice problems, feel free to always contact our care team on our website for further help. My name is Renata with Just Add Ice. For more care tips and tricks, check out our website, care blog, or social media.